up, guys? It is Tommy here from Saleslucky.com, and today I want to share with you guys something I've been thinking about lately. And I truly think this is one of the greatest secrets of sales. And as you guys know, I like to say that sales is life, and I truly believe this is one of the things that once internalized kind of really changes everything, and really it's really a paradigm shift. And the secret I'm talking about is really knowing yourself and being yourself. You know, something I've realized in my 20s growing up, whether it's in dating or in sales conversations or just making friends in real life, um, being real and being authentic with who I am and the way that I say things just works way better in all those areas. And I remember distinctly, 2 years into my B2B sales role, selling procurement professionals, which are professional negotiators. Like these guys are legitimate professional negotiators. Have been negotiating for their entire lives. It's a career, right? So I was kind of thrown into the fire, so to speak, as my first B2B sales job selling to these people. And what I realized 2 years in was I had an epiphany. I realized that when I stopped trying to be overly professional and typing these emails that sounded way too wordy and long, and instead just more so articulated as I'm talking now, like how I would talk to a friend or just how I talk, right? People became way more responsive and sales got easier. People, started responding more, and it would just everything got better, right? And again, I find this true with my personal life as well as professional life in sales. So, why is that? Why is that, right? Like, why is that? And it's counterintuitive because most beginners, when they start out in sales, they don't know anything else other than reading a script, because that's what we're all handed when we start out with an entry-level sales job, because there's not a whole lot of skill required for jobs like that, right? So they hand you a script, make sure you stick to it. But there comes in a time in every salesperson's education. I'm borrowing from the words of Emerson now, I'm kind of paraphrasing. But what Emerson said was, there comes a time in every person's education when that person realizes that envy is ignorance and imitation is suicide. What does that mean? Like, what does that actually mean? So let me kind of break that down, right? So in salespeople's terms, as I was saying, there comes a time in every salesperson's education when they realize that imitation is suicide, when they realize that trying to read a script or trying to be like another sales rep and saying exactly what that person says is like suicide, is like shooting yourself in the foot. It just doesn't work. Yes, you might be able to strong arm a sale if you're selling a stick of gum or a pen where someone can buy it and just walk away from you forever. But you cannot really force or finagle your way into a 6-figure sale with 8 people involved, and they have to have internal discussions and budget approvals. Like, you're not going to strong arm somebody in the moment in that sale and pressure into that sale, right? Because that's just not going to happen. You need multiple people for a sale like that. You need business decision makers and all that stuff, conversations around boardroom and all that stuff, right? So what does this all mean? It means that there comes a time in every salesperson's education when they realize that, hey, reciting these lines or saying what salesperson Bob is saying is not going to help me. I got to be myself. And what that means for you guys is, as you're modeling what's working out there, make sure to try to understand the root principles of what these successful salespeople are doing, and then take those principles and apply it in your own way. So you're not copying someone else's style per se, but you're just taking what works and discarding what doesn't. Again, I'm paraphrasing another great person here. His name is Bruce Lee. I'm sure you guys have heard of him. He said, when it comes to learning, take what is useful, discard what is not, and add uniquely what is your own. I think that summarizes that perfectly. Take what is useful as you're looking at other salespeople in your company or other companies in your industry. Take what is useful, model what is useful, take that. Stuff that doesn't fit with who you are or what your business does, or it's just not a fit, it's not you, discard that. You don't have to say those things if it's not a fit. And then add uniquely what is your own. Don't be afraid to be yourself. Bring yourself into the conversation. Bring your own essence into the sales conversation, because at the end of the day, we're all unique individual human beings. While that's obvious, what may not always be obvious to everyone is that that's actually our competitive advantage. And that's actually what builds more trust. This also doesn't get talked about in a lot of professional B2B sales settings, but trust is everything. I mean, what is sales really about? Sales is just making a recommendation to somebody and them taking that action, right? So what do you need there for that to happen? You need trust. You need the other person to believe what you're saying. You need them to like you and really trust you. And while it might be counterintuitive, because beginners think that sales is all about being polished and reading a script. Oftentimes it's actually the opposite. It's about not being polished. It's about just being yourself. It's about saying ums and uhs here and there. Not intentionally, but just because that's how people talk. People are not perfect, flawless grammar machines, right? We're not robots. So, don't be afraid to be yourself. Know yourself in order to be yourself. And I can promise you that, you're going to be more successful. Don't feel like you need to be super buttoned up and be a robot or anything, okay? So, hope you guys got value out of this. It is one of the biggest epiphanies I've learned over the past couple of years. I'm 30 now, and I would say, this is probably top 5 epiphanies I've learned over the past 5 years or so. So, in sales and just in life in general. So, hope you guys got value out of this. And if you did, please do share this with a friend. Again, I make this content for free. So, please help spread the movement here at Saleslucky. We're about selling with integrity. We're about selling authentically. We're not about, pulling a fast one over customers. We're not about making a sale and then turning around laughing at the customer. We're not about that. We're about genuinely helping people. We're about genuinely making an impact. So please help spread the movement. We'd greatly appreciate that. Take care, guys. Cheers.